Hey guys, today I'm going to be reviewing The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. If this circus really did exist, I'd want to go. The Night Circus tells the story of Le Cirque des Rêves, or the Circus of Dreams. It's a story about the origins of this circus and the lives of these performers who inhabit it. And the one catch about this circus, it only opens at night. But there's more to the circus than just pure entertainment and escapism. Put into motion years before the circus even opened, two competing magicians present their two champions who are going to fight in this battle of skill and endurance. The two competitors, Celia and Marco, have no idea what lies ahead of them. They have no idea what they're going to face. And they also have no idea that a winner is only chosen when one of them dies. The circus is a venue for them to perform their skills, but little do they know the harm that they're causing themselves, as well as all the other performers within the circus. Okay, so that's it for a summary about the book. The book basically starts out in 1873 and continues on up to 1902, and it all takes place within various different locations and countries throughout that entire time frame. What's more, the narrative is always shifting between different people who are telling the story within those different time frames. So basically the book opens up in 1873 through about 1874, and we're given a quick introduction to Celia and Marco and how they're pulled into this challenge of skill and endurance with their magical abilities. Celia is brought into the challenge by her own father, and Marco is brought in through a man who adopts him from the orphanage. So all the way until about 1886, Celia and Marco are training this entire time. The other narrative part of the story takes place in 1902 and focuses on a boy named Bailey. He's a farm boy and he's seeking life and adventure outside of his farm. So for him, when the circus is in town, that's his means of escape. So basically, the novel is taking place in the late 1800s with Celia and Marco and their narrative, and then it randomly sometimes moves to Bailey's scenes in 1902. So a lot of times you're kind of confused about what's going on and you're questioning events in between, what's happening in between the late 1800s all the way up to 1902. I personally feel that Morgenstern did a fantastic job of weaving in these two different time frames. It was confusing on occasion, but once you get going, you quickly adapt to the structure. And you begin to realize that all these stories have something to do with each other and they're in some way connected. You just don't know what that connection is yet. I honestly thought that The Night Circus was a young adult novel, and that initially threw me off. But the more and more reviews I started seeing for this book, the reviewers were referring to the book more as a historical fantasy for adults. But can I just say, wow, this book was absolutely amazing. Just simply stunning from start to finish. There was just gorgeous descriptions every page you turned to. The descriptions seriously never ended. Every single one of your senses are invoked throughout the entire novel. It was kind of weird sometimes. I mean, when smells would be described, I kind of felt like I could smell those smells, I could hear those sounds, I can feel the things that characters were touching. It was quite eerie on occasion, just how well the descriptions really enhanced just yourself reading it. The circus is described with such wonderment and enchantment that I really want to go to this circus if it really ever truly existed. And because of this sense of wonderment and enchantment, it's one of the big reasons why I would absolutely love to see this book adapted into a movie at some point. It's all very dreamlike and fantastical. The blurb on the back of the book almost makes this book sound like it's a story about forbidden romance, and it is to a degree, but the book is so much more than that. So don't let this notion of forbidden romance taint your view of this book, and that the romance is the only big thing about the book, because it's not. In some ways, there's this larger theme in the book of eternal beauty, and questioning what is real and what is not real. and forcing you to question the validity of magic in the real world. It's hard to explain, but there's something very old-fashioned and nostalgic about the overall writing style and themes presented in this book. Like I said, the book description is very, very poor on the back of the book. Yes, there is an element of forbidden love presented in the story, but that seriously does not even happen until probably a good 50% of the way into the book. Celia and Marco are not just instantly thrown together. They really don't even speak to each other that much until, like I said, a good halfway through. They mostly kind of just see each other. But once Celia and Marco do get together, it's instant chemistry and passion. You have these two young people who learn that they have to fight this battle with each other, and it's something that they don't want to do. Their struggling relationship and the secrets that they hide from each other are some of the most intense parts of the book, and Morgenstern did a really fantastic job of creating this intensity between them and really leaving a reader on the edge of their seat. So if the romance part of the story isn't even until the halfway point of the book, what exactly takes place in the first half of the book? The first half of the book is mostly the beginnings of the circus and collecting all the various performers who will inhabit it, which in turn leads all the way up to opening night. And then the story continues on as the circus progresses throughout the years. Like I said, this book is mostly full of descriptions, and this could either be a good thing for you or a very bad thing that only just frustrates you. If you're the type of reader who likes to get quickly into the action, quickly into the plot, and just minor character development, then you're probably not going to like this book. It's probably not for you. If you're someone who enjoys a much slower pace, someone who enjoys this natural progression of character development and lots of descriptions, then this will be the right book for you. It's hard to begin to even describe what the purpose of the challenge is between Marco and Celia. It's never really fully explained, I don't think. The challenge is mostly described as this challenge of endurance, more so than magical skill. A character at the end of the novel even says something along the lines of, "It seems to me that it was never clear-cut," and this is the absolute truth. Despite all the beautiful descriptions, we never really get this great idea of who some of these characters are, or even the overall purpose of the circus, and nor do we get the reasoning behind the challenge between Celia and Marco. All of these elements are just as big a mystery as the circus is. But despite not having this large abundance of character development and explanation, what we learn is still very intriguing, I felt. I really adored a lot of the characters. Poppet and Widget, for example, were just instantly lovable. I loved this larger mystery surrounding Alexander and Tsukiko. And of course, I loved the romance between Celia and Marco. Every character is seriously just so enchanting and mesmerizing on every single page. Overall, this book was just fantastic from start to finish. I'm not even quite sure how to describe this book. I mean, I don't even feel like my review is giving this book justice, because I think this is the type of book you just have to read for yourself and form your own opinion. Even though the book has this feel of a slower pace, it actually reads very quickly. I oftentimes had a really difficult time even putting the book down for the night. So who would I recommend this book for? I would highly suggest this for people who love historical fantasy, and I'd even recommend this book for people who are just lovers of books and lovers of words. The book did not disappoint me one bit. So that's it for my review of The Night Circus. I really hope you all enjoyed this. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Bye guys!